First and foremost, we want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father, and Yahushai is the true name of the only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ. All right, we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites that consist of so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and those scattered abroad according to the diaspora, which is according to the curses that were put upon us for our disobedience and not hearkening ultimately to Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, which even in its entirety, ultimately this is prophecy by Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, you know? So the Wadi Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai for putting in our spirit in these last days to come out to the highways and byways and preach this good news, preach the gospel, preach unto the meek, as it says in Isaiah 61 and countless scriptures. And what we've come to find out is we're actually the meek that ultimately will inherit the earth, you know? So we're going to start off in the book of Psalms, the 149th chapter, and see where the Holy Spirit takes us, because we believe that we're being moved ultimately through the Ruach HaKodesh. So may these modern day epistles and lessons, Acts 2.0, be edifying to the body of Yahweh Shai.
Yep. That's the book of Psalms 149 and verse 1. It says, praise ye the Lord,
Yep.
Sing unto the Lord a new song.
Right, and that new song is the song that we're singing that's also found in the book of Revelations, which it says only the elect could sing that song.
Yep.
What is that song? You read that, I'll grab it.
Gotcha. This the book of Psalms 149 and verse 1. It says, praise ye the Lord, sing unto the Lord a new song.
Yep.
And his praise in the congregation of the saints.
Right, now real quick, this is Revelations, because we're going to precept. We're going to speak, and we're going to precept what we're saying, because we could stand up here and paraphrase the scriptures, but we also want to get them. So if there's any new brother or sister that needs understanding of what we mean by song, what's it mean, love, all biblical definitions, it's found right in the Bible, you know? Because I was watching yesterday, it was like 1996, you know, what's that, Jesse Lee Patterson, or Jamie, y'all know what I'm talking about? He's on YouTube. Ted Robinson, or
Dark skin
yeah, Jamie, yeah, what is it? Some Peterson, Jesse Peterson.
Okay.
So he's been around for a minute, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's been around for a minute. So he did a debate with like Captain Tazariak. He does those kind of things, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He basically tries to debunk your sighing, crying. So he had on members of One West back in the official time. And I can't remember exactly their name, but all the people that were asking them questions, like if they were coming up, guess what they would say to them? They would say, I want you to explain God to me without the Bible. That's like explaining you how to get a driver's license without the DMV.
Right.
Like we have to go. Matter of fact, can you get Isaiah 8 and 20 real quick? I believe it's Isaiah 8 and 20.
If they speak not.
Yeah, you have to speak according to this. You know what I mean? It's like talk to me about basketball, but you know, don't show me the rules.
Right.
No. It doesn't work like that. You found it, brother?
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 8, verse 20.
Yep.
To the law and the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them.
Boom. So the whole time, I mean, they were bombarding them. The one chick, she was like, tell me about how a man can have more than one wife, but a woman can't have more than one man. And so they're saying, but don't explain it with a precept. But the scriptures clearly tell you here a little and there a little.
Right.
So if I'm going to explain something to you as a creature, as existing, I'm explaining it to you by the words of the Creator, whose men he chose that were moved by the Holy Spirit. So how can I tell you the truth if I can't go to the book that has truth in it? It don't make sense. But that's because they're demons. So when I was watching that show, I said, this was like when the wine of Babylon started getting challenged. Because if you notice, there is, like, you know what paints America's history? Hollywood. See, we know history, but we only could picture history with movies that we watch. Like the other night I watched Glory, which Glory's with Denzel. I'm on a Denzel tip right now. You know what I mean? So he made some good movies. So I'm watching historical. So I'm watching Glory, and I said, this is why people, when they speak about the Civil War, they're in that spirit like, we fought to free you. Because what that movie was encapsulating was this overcoming oppression while I'm here to help. But even Denzel said, he said, after the war, where are we gonna go? And then the company, it was a Jake, they call them companies, units, the 54th company that enlisted all Israelites, they sent them on a dummy mission and they all died.
Yep.
So they joined the military, were being shorthanded, treated like slaves still, being looked down upon by fellow military members just to go off into a fort somewhere and get shot and killed. So what's the glory in that?
Satisfy political agenda.
Exactly. But what that did was it painted a picture to the average people. What's up, brother? It painted a picture to the average people to make you think that there was a time where we stood up against oppression to help you. So slavery ended in 1865, but you know what started in 1865? The KKK. So, you know, miss us with that. Miss us with that. You know what I'm saying? So you can't allow the media to control your thoughts. You can't allow Hollywood to paint in your mind history that's happened out here. Okay? So let me go back. We finished that. This is Rev 14 going into the song. Rev 14 and 3, it says, and they, let me start at 1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps, and they sung as it were a new song. So that's the song we're singing. Going back to my point with the, what was his name? Jesse Peterson?
Yeah, yep.
When those men from One West were on that television show, those people had a problem with because what they were saying is what we're literally saying now, which shows you the truth has been here. So what they're saying is what we're saying. Job 9 and 24, Rev 13 and 10. You know, all the milk scriptures that built us up to have an understanding, that's the lyrics to the song. So the people didn't want to hear the song sung, just like, you know, just like now. No. Every time they would go to precept, Jamie Peterson said, no. We don't have time. You tell me. Whoa, what you mean? So anyways, it says, and they sung as it were a new song, and only the elect singing this. So you should want to hear this very important, precious song because not everyone in the world could sing it, you know? And it says, and they sung, so we're singers, you know? We're out here actually singing. You know, what did my man Nat Turner say? Sing to the Lord.
A new song.
And let me add, thank you. And let me add this. We're in a grove, which we had to shake the dust. So we found a peaceful place to prophesize in peace, right? And we're actually in a grove of what you know as Queen of Heaven. And right behind us, excuse me, brother, let me show him this. Right behind us is Susan B. Anthony and Frederick Douglass, the water brother. And I'm good. And what's funny is in the movie Glory, Frederick Douglass was fighting for Denzel to be in the military just to go die.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Frederick Douglass, he said,
Wow, yeah.
like, what did that do, bro? Because I said, so Jake fought and overcame just to be arguing in Walmart with Esau. Because, you know what I mean? We're still now.
I got a quick one.
All right. We're really, the position is still the same. The only thing is now more Edomites are coming under the curses of us. Because that's the elites ruling. See, so we don't talk to average everyday Babylonians about our gripe with the system. They got nothing. They're getting chewed up by the system too. They're struggling by the system too. You know, it's the elites that are the ones that is really jacking us all up. All of us are being jacked up right now.
Yeah. Well, it was an article, I believe, on I think endtimeheadlines.org, and they were saying how every American is basically, you know, struggling, you know, no matter the color, you know.
40 million Babylonian citizens don't know where their next meal is coming from. And guess what? I experienced that this week. And what did the Lord do? He provided.
That's right.
Okay? Remember last week when IUIC wrote Bass Camp and they didn't say nothing to us? I was broke, right? I've had my bills paid, but I didn't have pocket change. It happens. That same week, it was a Sabbath. I didn't have food, so I couldn't cook. The Lord used a Gentile Israelite from the tribe of Ephraim to take me out and buy me dinner. See what I'm saying? How the Lord works? See how the Lord works?
Man.
You know? So you got Jakes that are Israelite Gentiles that are living by the law more than the people that know that they're Israelites. You couldn't have stopped by saying, hey, y'all brothers good. We see y'all out here all the time. Y'all want some water? We just said, man, I really appreciate that. I actually do need some water. But did they do that? No, because you got Deacon Asaph going around screaming that we're grapists. You see that latest false witness they bared? They're saying that they're going harder now, saying they're saying we're grapists. Come on, man. You know? But the point is, the Lord used the Israelite Gentile who don't even know. I just did work for him. You know, I've been around him, so that I had a good name with him. He just randomly was like, hey, you want some food? I'm like, that's the Lord. Because I was hungry. I needed dinner. I didn't have, it was a Sabbath. I couldn't cook, you know? So the Lord looked out and provided me with some chicken. Yes, it was chicken, okay?
This is the book of...
Yes, it was too.
You got something in there.
A little pollen.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 25 and verse 35. It says, and if thy brother be waxing poor...
Yep, and Babylon, doesn't Babylon bring us to a poorer state? Just like the rest of these people. They're not living high off the hog, but the pride of white Eurocentric Christianity gives you a sense of privilege, but ultimately you're not feeling like you used to feel in the 90s, you know, early 2000s. Right. We're all struggling, but we're struggling because of the curses. You're struggling because of the position that the elites have you in according to prophecy, which is going to lead into you being under curses. You see? But read this law again.
Yep. This is the book of Leviticus 25 and verse 35. And if thy brother be waxing poor and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him. Yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee. You know, and that's one thing that, you know, guys like, you know, that's up in the NYC, you know, they wouldn't, you know, lend a hand. But like you said, you know, the bro's testimony, a Gentile Israelite, you know, gave him food, you know, and fed him.
Yeah.
You see? But because, you know, he was in decay. He paid his bills, but he had nothing left, no money, no food to cook, right?
It was frozen too, so I couldn't have cooked it.
Right.
I was like, oh man, I'm in a bind, Nate. That's like, I'm in a bind.
Right, no pun intended.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, so the Lord had just came through with a blessing. So I was like, the Wadi Abashmal Shai. So let me go back.
I'm sorry.
And we got the song still 149.
Yep.
Rev 14 and 3. And they sung as it were a new song. And that's what this is. It's new. So when you hear, like when we first woke up, one of the biggest things I said was, oh, that's in the Bible?
Right.
You know, because you hear something said or a statement made while holding the scriptures, and then you find out, wow, that's found right in this book.
Right.
But it's hidden. You see, it's hidden. So you gotta, that's why certain things are highlighted, because it's gotta be searched for. You know? And it says, as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. So redemption, right. we needed redemption. This is why the gospel is being preached unto us, because we need to be freed. We weren't freed under Christianity. I did a lesson earlier called the collar of Christianity is a curse, because that's what it does. It puts a collar over you, and it pussifies you, and now you look at your white brother like an angel on Google, right, with a toga on. You know what I mean? That's what Esau did. Is he said, how can I whoop this nigga even though I know he could beat me? Let me make him love me. That's what he did. Esau made Jake fall in love with them. You know, he made their identity lusted after. He made their hair to be coveted after. He made their nationality to be wanted, even above your own. And so much you have beautiful so-called black men and women that use cake soap to lighten their look so that they could blend in with a nation of people that's prophesied ultimately to be destroyed. Mm-hmm. And like the Jake, my man said in Bronx Tale, after those Italians got cooked, he said, don't they look better black? So that's when Cain gonna get his color back, is when his ass gets burned through Obadiah. That's right. And if you didn't know why I'm saying Cain, because Cain in the reincarnation is the nation of Esau, Edom. That's why he came out red all over like a hairy garment. You know the hairy garments you ever see Jake with the fur on? Yeah. You know what I mean? That's our customs, you know?
Quick one. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 61 and verse 1. It says, the spirit of the Lord power is upon me. Yep. Because the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek.
Right. Now, let's go into this word meek and find out what it means. Isaiah 61.
Yep, and verse 1.
In verse 1, So when you look up this word meek, which is also going to be found in Psalms 149, we found out that we're the meek. All right, GMS meek. So when you look up the word meek, it means poor. It's the poor of this world, you know, where we're just getting by. All right, and that's okay. So you can't look at your position right now and equate that to how the Lord is dealing with you through gain. Because remember, some think gain is godliness. You had Alazar say that Elder Pastor Har was jealous, which to me that sounds like a statement a black woman would make, you know, after a domestic dispute and a lump on her head and kicked out of the barbecue. You're just jealous. Man, nobody's up here jealous, okay? We understand the position that we're in as a people. We understand the curses that we're in, and we don't fret or envy the wicked, okay? So it says poor, then it also goes into humble. This is the word for meek. Humble, needy, and afflicted. Aren't we needy and afflicted?
Yes.
We're a needy bride. Constantly, Yahushua, I need this. Help, help, help. Shalak Isaiah, help me. You see? So the gospel is meant for the meek, and the meek is the Lord's people that are in a low condition.
Yep.
That's why, watch, keep reading, and then we'll jump back to Psalms.
Back in Isaiah chapter 61 and verse 1, and it says, he has sent me to bind up.
So we're sent. We all been sent. See? So we've been sent out. We always go into John 9 and 4 in the NLT. We must quickly carry out what was assigned to us by him who sent us. We've been sent.
Right.
We didn't know that we were sent.
Right.
We didn't know this because we were drunk under the tutelage of Esau Edom, and we see where that got us.
Right.
It got us nowhere fast. We were through. Fubu, sagging, ass hanging out, you know, arguing with the next Jake because he didn't get your edge up correctly. You know what I'm saying? Right?
Right.
Sitting on a porch somewhere eating clams and crabs,
Yep.
thinking that that's okay, not even questioning the church or the government. He had everything locked and loaded. He was straight because he put himself as God, sitting in the temple of God, showing himself he was God.
Yep.
That's how he did that. Then he did it by the name of Jesus, and he put you on an Uber called Good Ship Jesus and brought you over here. That's why in the movie Roots, when Kuta got to the plantation, he was the only one in chains because he already destroyed the rest of them. In the book of Deuteronomy 28, it says that he shall put a yoke of iron until he destroyed you. So he got you to the point of so much destruction that he don't even need to make sure you ain't gonna run away.
Right.
He got another Jake standing there saying, watch out for the gun line, boss.
Yep.
You know?
Mental captivity.
Mental captivity is one. That's why it says we're robbed and spoiled and in prison houses. Each city is a prison house. Each state, that ain't just county, local, and jail.
Right.
You gotta think bigger than that,
Right.
Alazar.
Right.
Because they'll use that precept, which I get it, but you gotta understand. Oh, even General Hashar said it when he was debating Polite, because the Polite years ago he was coming up with all this conscious knowledge talk like they do, red fish, blue fish. That shit sounds good for a minute. But after a while, it's like, nah, that ain't it. So anyways, General Ashar, after Polite was said all his rhetoric, he said, let me ask you a question. Do you have a social security card? He said, shut your ass up because you're still in slavery. See, all that sounds good.
Right.
Like the one Jay came up, be healthy.
Yeah.
Like he was
Financial freedom.
Financial freedom, but you still need registration and a driver's license to operate in this motor vehicle, even though technically you have the right to drive freely in Babylon, but it's such a confused society of draconianness that you literally have to go through a standoff with the local police to prove that you can drive freely without the restrictions of a registration. But like Yahushua said, agree with your adversary. So get it registered, get it inspected, get what needs to be done so you can operate freely to teach the word with a free course, you know?
And it goes on to say, he has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted.
And we're the brokenhearted. You know what it's like to be a lost nation? Like to legitimately be lost, and the only thing you can fall back on is a color found in a crayon box that your parents were forced to buy because these are the requirements to send you to public schooling so they can indoctrinate you with mumbo jumbo, what they call grammar, which grammar goes back to incantation and spells. Okay? So hey man, you gotta miss us with this that fairy tale I'm here to help welfare spirit.
Right.
All right? That used to work a long time ago on Jake. Now it's a different time. Apostle Paul said it's high time to wake out of sleep.
Right.
So now we're awoken, and that's become a problem. This is why Esau's monopolized the woke agenda and turned it into something he can capitalize off of. And I was thinking about it the other day. You know why they were coming up with all these outing Edomites, calling you nigger and racism? Because he wanted to open the door against racism so he can put Amalek right in the forefront. That's why he gave Jake a position to sigh and cry about racism, because now who's the face of victimization of racism? Amalek.
Yeah.
What you got, Credit Abba?
This precept actually, is the backup that you were saying before. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of the heart.
Yep.
And that's why, you got Jake in mind.
Yeah. Yeah, Jake through.
Jake is through.
Now you said smite thee with madness. Talking about Jake, right?
Yeah.
Well, I got a precept.
It's a curse.
It's a curse. Now I got a precept to back you up that how not only Jake is smitten with that madness, but so are the other nations. Jeremiah 51 and 7, it says, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. So Jake's bugged out of madness because of the curses, and now the other nations are bugged out because of the wine, according to prophecy.
Right.
So the problem that the world is facing is the bartender Esau Edom, who's getting everybody so-called white boy wasted. And we see the positions of our people that have indulged themselves in his rhetoric and doctrine. Remember last week, he said he was a psychologist or something. Remember?
Yeah.
And he was completely through. He said he didn't know if tomorrow will come until the day it comes. That's like saying, I don't believe my heart's gonna beat until I feel blood pumping. There's no faith, there's no belief. You're puffed up of vanity of knowledge. That's why King Solomon said, vanity, vanity, all is vanity. But at the end of the day, wisdom will overpower a fool. So even though we know what's coming for this place, we still, in the spirit, know we need to stand up and bring out edification.
That's right.
Because the word has to be preached, regardless of us or not.
Right.
Now,
Back in Isaiah.
yeah.
Back in Isaiah 61 and verse 1, it says, to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives.
Right. Now let's get that in Isaiah. What's that? The storehouses.
I believe Isaiah 40 was that 40. Is it 47?
Let me grab that.
Look it up real quick.
Yeah. One more time.
Prison house. Okay, I got
Yeah.
it.
I thought it was 22.
Isaiah 61. Is it, Isaiah 42?
It's
22?
yeah.
It says to proclaim liberty to the captives, right? Because in Baruch, it says that we are yet in this day in our captivity. We still in captivity. That's why we waiting on Yahweh Shai to come deliver us. It says in the book of Deuteronomy, says that no man shall buy you. And I believe that word going to buy means like save you.
Yeah, redeem.
Redeem.
Because we have laws on, like Jake getting bailed out, bondsman. You could get bailed out of jail. So we had laws that you could get bailed out or bought out from the position of servitude you are under, pertaining to the Israelite master you were serving. Real quick, Isaiah 40.
40.
No, this one came up.
Oh, okay.
You could, yep. Isaiah 40 and 1. Comfort ye, my people, saith your power. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned. See, pardoned. It says, for she has received of the Lord's hand double for all her sins. So we actually received double. And don't it say pay her back double for what she's done unto you?
That's right.
Double has happened to us. When you look at all the captivities, and then you see that we still had to go into this captivity in Babylon, that was a double punishment.
Yeah.
The slavery, the Civil War. And let me just say this, speaking on the fact of the Civil War, and you want to talk about it, if this is a country or a government built off democracy, if you were built off that, why the hell did your country have to go to war to so-called free us? And why was Rothschilds funding the North and the South on top of that? So the mere fact that you want to talk about we fought to free you, which we still ain't freed, I don't know why Alizar is telling you to celebrate Memorial's Day. We ain't free, all right? But the mere fact that they actually had to go to war to so-called free us, that alone should be astonishing. You mean to tell me that they couldn't collectively sit down together like the forefathers did to declare independence in 1776 and say, hey, we want to declare our independence and we want this and blah, blah, blah. They didn't do that. Matter of fact, in 1776, when they declared their independence from Britain, they wrote Jake was 3/5 of a human being, and under the 13th Amendment, if you commit a crime, which crime is an infraction of God's law, if you commit a crime, you legally can now still be a slave. So slavery is still legal in the USA. So vocab, go make that song "Slavery in the USA," bro. And don't forget to fucking add Jay, the producer, to do the producing for you. You pieces of shit.
Weird ass nigga, man. I got the one you wanted.
Yeah.
This is Isaiah 42.
42.
Isaiah 42 and verse 22. It says, but this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Are we not robbed? Are we not spoiled? This is why you've had so many collective leaders try to stand up for this people that are robbed and are spoiled. But what we're telling you is through Yahweh B'Shem El Shai is where justice is going to commence. Okay? So we're under grace right now waiting. We actually know what's going to happen. We don't have to find a new law that we got to live by. Right. Oh, and speaking of laws, I didn't have no dinner. I didn't cook on the Sabbath. See? So we live by the laws. So I don't know what IUIC is talking about. But anyways.
And it says, they are all of them snared in holes.
And the holes right here, these holes, these cities, the gaps. Okay, we're all snared here. All right? You ever, how many, what was that movie, Queen and Slim? You ever see Queen and Slim? You see what they had to go through to try to escape, and in the end, Slim Thug fucking turned on him. You saw that shit? Talking about I'm a boss. He turned on him. Exactly. But that was just one city they were in. You know what I mean? Like, you have Jake, they can't even make it out the hood. The hood is a what does it say, hole?
Yep, it says they are all of them snared in holes.
That hood is a hole. It's a hole in the wall. Yeah. You know, they're literally snared. They don't even know any different. I remember when I finally was able to leave New York because of the truth, I went to South Carolina. I was like, I didn't know world was like this. I assumed everywhere prices were what they were and how people function. It was so bad that when I got to South Carolina, this was years ago, this woman waved at me. I literally did this. I said, oh, she's waving at me? Like, because you're so used to, see, we're institutionalized to the cities that we're in, you know? Old Block is a whole, you know?
We say, institutionalized, but that proves that Babylon's a prison, you know?
Exactly. Because when Jake goes out into other neighborhoods, what's the cop tell him? Get your ass out of here. Mm-hmm. Cops keep Jake out of Edomite neighborhoods. Going back to wokeness, you had that one cop off duty who stopped a Jake that was walking down the sidewalk, and he was questioning him if he lived there, and if not, what was he doing there? See? So how many times do you see that? Okay, so this is the vibration that Babylon has given you, all in the midst of it being destroyed through the government, through the elites, through the corporate elites, okay? So everybody's about to start feeling, seeing what it's like to be a nigga, all right? And you know who's gonna be the new Edomites? UN troops. You know what I mean? They're gonna be in that privileged position of power because Jacob's trouble is gonna turn to Edomite trouble. Oh, yeah. So all in the midst of us sighing and crying of the abominations in the midst that are being done, we're still letting you know that you people that have partook of the benefits and privilege of the corporate elites, your ass is about to be put through the grinder too. You about to be put through the mist. You about to be microchipped. You about to be going through it. You're gonna have to ask, is we sick massa? When they set up camps, when this government comes down upon you, just like when 19 happened, who used civil rights laws to jump over the hurdles of verifications of the muzzles and credentials to get into the public restaurants? Esau. Did you know Esau used civil rights to say that he had the right not to get the jump shot? So he. There we go. Those are good? Yeah. That's odd. That's strange. It says the strangeness of thy salvation. Mm-hmm. You know?
Nothing strange.
Nothing strange.
The baptism. But I'm going to finish this off.
Yeah, finish that off.
Back in Isaiah 42 and verse 22, it says, and they are hid in prison houses, right? So not just only, prison houses meaning the jail and prisons, but actual Babylon. We're like we are in this day in our captivity under, the oppression of the heathen, the main heathen being Esau, right?
Hey, Jake's hid in the big house. Remember she said, they call it the big house because it's big. You had Jake's hidden in there. Remember the whole movie Django was based on him looking for his wife who was hid in a prison house, which was a plantation house. They got in New Orleans, the House of Horror. It was this French woman. She was a super demon. She would have the Jake woman chained at the stove in the kitchen.
Oh, shit.
She would have Jake in the attics.
Madame Leroux.
Thank you, brother.
Oh, wow.
Madame Leroux. It was a horror house.
Damn.
Yeah.
Louisiana.
Yep, New Orleans.
Damn.
She had multiple husbands. Then I believe the house burnt down. It was terrible, man.
Damn.
It was terrible. You know?
That sounds fucking gruesome.
Yeah.
Excuse my language.
And you know what's crazy? It's only gonna get gruesomer.
Oh, yeah.
It's only gonna get crazier because Jake right now has this ideology that they're free. Because you can get in the car, sit with your legs open, get Popeyes, blunt wraps, bottles, go to the club, pop some woman while she's playing fuck nigga free. You know, and that's your idea of freedom.
Yep.
That's your idea of what it's like to be free. That's a low, oh, the children rose up to play.
Yep.
They're children. And that's when the movie Glory kept going into. He said, all they keep doing is playing. As soon as Esau gave Jake guns, they ran out in the middle of the field and started fake shooting each other and laughing. That's how Jake is. They're simple. You know?
Lost sheep.
Lost sheep. Well, you just got the poster of this Jake that had passed away, and the poster dedicated to his death, it was half of his face and half of a goat.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
Or a kid.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's what Craig told Smokey and Friday. He said, man, you always playing. You know, all Jake want to do is play and fuck around.
IUIC, all you do is play. Oh, it's a new moon.
Let's play.
That's what I'm dead serious.
Let's get it real quick.
I'm
Yeah,
dead
yeah.
serious. All they do is play.
Let me finish first.
All they're doing is, should we then make mirth? You know?
Not bad.
You good?
And it says, and they are hidden in prison houses.
Yep.
They are for a prey.
See, they're for a prey. The prey is playing. And you see that with videos on YouTube. Well, Esau will drive up and pull up on a Jake. What you doing? See, because he's a prey out here. And Jacob's trouble, you're going to see that Jake's really the prey, man. Watch.
And it says,
Oh, the experiments. You got a movie with Morpheus, Lawrence Fishburne's called the Tuskegee Airmen. But what I believe they did that because they wanted to cover up the project called Tuskegee, where they gave Jake something unbeknownst to them, and that shit spread through the Israelite community to where even children were born with it. Just go look it up. You know, go look it up yourself. Because if I talk about it, Massa's gonna come down on me. You know? Massa's watching.
and it says, and none deliver it.
And you got a new Massa about to get voted in that said he wants to bring back the guillotine.
Yep.
You see that?
Uh-huh.
Heads are gonna roll. But
Yep.
that's prophecy. Why is guillotines being mentioned in 2024? Well, maybe because there's a prophecy in Revelations 20 in verse 4.
That's spiritual. Yeah.
You know?
Spiritual. And then on top of that, you know, this new master, Jake loving him now. You know, and it's the same master.
I'm sorry, brother. I just want to add because he got a mugshot. You got it.
Right. No, you said it. You know, but Jake, you know, like we said earlier, they're sheep, so Jake is easily bedazzled.
Yes.
So anybody that, you know, that's very prolific in their eyes, they cleave right to him.
Yep.
You know.
And then you sprinkle that with white Eurocentric Christianity, and you got the perfect bodyguard. You got the perfect pit bull. You right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
You seen Keisha
Yep.
Thompson? She jumped on that Edomite. That's her name, Keisha. So Drake, don't ask if Keisha love you. She loves Esau. Okay? You weird nigga.
And it says, and none delivereth.
Yeah, none delivereth because we gotta wait that no man shall buy you.
Right. Yep.
We gotta wait. We gotta wait to be delivered. See, Christianity gave you a false perception of who you ignorantly call God. That's why Jake's in that Malachi spirit, whereas thou loved us, because Esau's used who you call God to keep you in slavery and bondage and power over you with imagery, okay? Because religion is a part of Rev 13, the image.
Yep.
So he's capitalized off your ignorance, meaning your unknowingness, all right? And now Jake, instead of being mad at the man who's gaining off of the lie, you're mad at the one who he's lying about. How you mad? He lying on me, but you mad at me. You believed him. You believe in him, you know?
The man.
Yeah, the man.
And it says, for spoil and none saith restore.
Right, none says
Right.
restore. That's why in 2024, none says restore. We are the poor, and Jake's going around saying reparations. The dollar's about to collapse. You now want him to give you money on a dollar that ain't backed by nothing but military principles and power, and you want him to give that to you? No, he's going to give you a digital reparation, coins monetized through digitalization, and you're going to have to pay and get Nikes and Jordans with a microchip. That's how he's going to free your ass with a electronic bondage,
Yep.
with a digital all. You know?
You want that back in Psalms?
Yeah.
Okay. Back in Psalms 149 and verse 1, it says, praise ye the Lord, sing unto the Lord a new song.
And that the new song is a song that's been given. The song consists of, hey, you so-called Negroes, you're from the tribe of Judah. Hey, you so-called Puerto Ricans, you know you're Ephraimites. Hey, y'all so-called black people, you know who the one you call Jesus is actually a man of color like you? Well, how'd he become white? By the same man who enslaved you. See? Keep going.
That's the gospel.
That's the gospel. That's the good news. Wow, the Bible I believe in, it actually is for me. Because when I used to believe in God and Jesus in the mindset of Christianity, I didn't care that he was white. I didn't care that they enslaved me because I was drunk off the wine that Babylon is serving us, and I didn't have to wait till 21 to drink it. You know?
Right. And it says, and it's praise in the congregation of saints.
Yo, who's the saints? The saints are those that made a covenant with him by sacrifice.
Yep.
And now the saints are only the elect because there's a new covenant that we've made, and that sacrifice is Yahweh Shai. So technically, spiritually, the saints now only qualify as the elect, because for us to be saints back then, we had to make a covenant by sacrifice. Then Yahweh Shai said, drink this, for this is a New Testament. This is my blood for the New Testament. And then he got sacrificed, and those saints started with his men.
Yep.
And then those that partook in that sacrifice, which became a ritual or a custom or a law through our culture that we partake today in New Egypt. We're now in Egypt again, you know?
Over again. And it says, let Israel rejoice in him that made him.
Yeah, and that's the Israel of Yahweh. Because not all Israel's rejoicing. Now they may say all APPTMH, but they're not saying all praise to the Most High through the only begotten Son. That's what they're failing to realize. You're trying to go back to Yahweh while skipping over his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. So that makes you anti-Yahweh Shai, which that proves we're in the last days, because it says in the last days there shall be many anti-Hamashiachs. So keep anteing up the anti-ness. All right?
Yep. I got a quick precept to land back. You said because you mentioned the Israel of God, right?
Yeah.
Now this is Galatians 6 and 16 in the NLT. It says, may the Most High's peace and mercy be upon all who live by this principle. They are the new people of the Most High.
The new people.
That's fire.
Because that's what? The new Jerusalem.
Right.
That's the new Jerusalem coming down. See? So that's a new people. So that's what we're investing our faith and belief in, is in the doctrine of Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
Okay? We believe in the 5 books of Moses, but we also believe in, as it says, the law and the prophets. Remember that? What's that in John? Where he
law and
said,
the prophets.
Yeah, I'll get it. You keep going.
Back in Psalms 149 and in verse 2, it says, let Israel rejoice in him that made him.
Oh, break that down.
Yep, I got you. Right, and that's what we do. We are rejoicing in the name of Yahweh Shema Shai, right? Because we've been awoken to know who we are, right? Because in the world we didn't know shit. We were Gentiles, scattered everywhere, not knowing nothing. But now we've been brought back to Yahweh Shema Shai, right? And it says, let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name in the dance. And that's one thing too. You got camps out here, wicked Israelite leaders that don't call upon a name, because they're wicked. They say Christ, Jesus Christ, but his name is what? Yahweh Shema Shai, right? The name matters. Imagine if when shit the fan, you're not gonna be calling on Jesus Christ. You're gonna be calling upon Yahweh Shema Shai, right?
Well, the name Jesus is Latin and it means earth pig, and the letter J wasn't created till 1524. So you have to consciously ask yourself, wait a minute, could I be calling on a wrong name? Well, it would make sense because you do call the so-called white man a devil. Wouldn't a devil do that to you? Now, real quick, since we made this point, this is John 1 and 43. The day following Yahushua would go forth into Galilee and findeth Philip and saith unto him, follow me. So that's why we say what? Like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow, right? It says, now Philip was of Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Peter. Philip findeth Nathanael and saith unto him, we have found him. So they were searching for Yahushua. You see that? So you have certain Israelites that are going to be content and just focus on the law, but then you have other portions of Israelites that are seeking the one to come, and that's Yahushua. All right, and it says, of whom Moses in the law. So they were following the precepts. So Moses in the law is Deuteronomy 18. Let me get that real quick.
I keep going till you get it.
All right,
Verse-
I'm there.
Okay.
Because it said, we have found him who Moses wrote of. So that means you have to visualize back then, they didn't have the book of John. So they could only read Exodus,
Yeah.
Deuteronomy,
Yeah.
Leviticus, Judges. So they had certain transcripts of their records that they would study in, and they were looking for certain clues of indicators of prophecy to be fulfilled. And one of the major prophecies was of a son unto us has been given, and the government will be upon his shoulders. This is Deuteronomy 18 and Deuteronomy 18 and 18. It says, I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. This is why Yahushua, when he was here, he kept saying, I've come to do my Father's will, because he was fulfilling prophecy that was foretold of his coming. So he was giving an indicator to us when he was on the scene. He was telling us without telling us. That's why it says, blessed is he that readeth. So if you're reading and following along, then you say, oh, I know who you are. But if you're not following, you're just in the law, you're just in the fringes, you're going to skip over the fact. That's why Yahushua said, if you believed in, can you get that?
Gotcha.
If you believed in Moses' writings, you will believe in me. So they didn't fully believe all what Moses was writing, because that's why it says they were swatting at the gnat, because Jake was like focusing on little, minuscule things, fringes. Why are you carrying your bed on the Sabbath? But they weren't carrying the fact that the man that was carrying his bed on the Sabbath just got healed and was able to walk again. You see?
I'm so looking for it.
It says, Deuteronomy 18 and 18, I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren. So who the world ignorantly calls Jesus is a prophet. He actually is the spirit of prophecy. So this is why in the midst of us preaching the gospel, which is prophecy, we're also in the spirit of prophesying to warn you of what's to come in the near future. But you cleaving under Yahushua, you're not going to be worried about the water getting cut off.
Got it.
You're not going to be worried about lights going off, because when the lights went off in Egypt, there was still lights for the nation of Israel in the land of Goshen. All right?
This is the book of John 5 and verse 45. It says, do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. There is one that accuseth you, even Moses, in whom ye trust. For had ye believed Moses, ye would have believed me, for he wrote of me.
And we just read it.
Right, yep, and Deuteronomy.
But in the book of John, Philip knew that.
Right.
See, so when you look at the relationship, even when you talk about unity and camps together, you're not in the right spirit, because there wasn't unification with Yahushua and the nation of Israel when he was on the scene. There was a constant back and forth debate, contention,
Yeah.
refusal of agreeing with the Holy Spirit. So you don't have the Holy Spirit if all you asking for is black and brown brothers to get together. You need to quit that mindset. You need to read. You need to start reading.
And it says of John 5 and verse 47, but if ye believe not his writings, how shall you believe my words?
Woo! Exactly. So let's keep, was that it?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, now let's keep going. It says, John 1 and 45, Philip findeth Nathanael, and saith unto him, We have found him, of whom Moses in the law, look, and the prophets did write. So, what prophets wrote of Yahushai's birth? Isaiah 7 and 14.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 7, and verse 14. And it says, Therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive.
That virgin is a woman of marriageable age. You cannot open the Bible and use the mindset that you got from public school with tainted tap water and apply that to the understanding when you open the scriptures. The word nice actually means to be stupid. The word bad actually means an effeminate male. Hence Michael Jackson's album. No, I'm just playing. But keep going.
And it says,
I'm just playing.
Isaiah 7 and 14. Behold, well, yeah, it's true.
You know?
Behold, the Lord himself shall give you a sign.
A sign.
Behold.
And then what did DMX say? Lord, give me a sign. Now, DMX was Earl Simmons.
Yeah, Earl Simmons.
DMX had a tattoo on his neck, a tattoo that said Exodus 1 and 7. Can you read Exodus 1 and 7 for me, please, Kratazaba? DMX, a so-called black man from New York, had a tattoo on his neck it said Exodus 1 and 7. Now, why would this so-called African-American male tattoo a scripture on his neck? And what does it say?
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 7. And the children of Israel were fruitful.
The children of who?
The children of Israel were fruitful.
So he's got on his neck a tattoo referring to the children of Israel. Why would he put someone else's nationality on him? He knew he was an Israelite.
Right.
Read that again.
Yep.
And the children of Israel were fruitful, and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed exceedingly mighty. And the land was filled with them.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yep.
So he knew he was an Israelite. You see? So read this again.
Yep. Isaiah 7 and 14. Therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive.
Yep. Now, Kratazaba, hold Isaiah 9 and 6. Okay? Because it said, of whom Moses in the law, we went in the law and showed you where it was written, Yahushai. Then it said, and the prophets did write. Now we're going into the prophets' book or records and showing you where they prophesied of the coming or the birth of Yahushai that would be through male and female. Because if you believe in Immaculate Conception, what you believe in is a demon, an ancient Babylonian demon through Semiramis, Nimrod, and Tammuz. A woman, a weird bugged out woman that was getting popped by a Hamite man, ended up sleeping with her own son, and then said that she was pregnated by his spirit, and then she miraculously received this young Hamite baby named Tammuz. And now the Christian church pushes that on our people.
Yep.
When that's a lie. You're believing in an ancient demonic deity from Babylon. Keep going, Kratza.
And it says, Behold, a virgin shall conceive.
A woman of marriageable age. That's why Apostle Paul said if she pass her flower. Don't it say that?
Yeah.
Now, what does the saying go about passing a flower? When you talk to your son, you talk about the birds and the bees. What do birds and bees do? They pollinate with flowers. So he's telling you it right there. You know?
They're ready.
Yeah.
Ready to mate.
Keep going.
And it says, and bear a son.
And bear a what?
And bear a son.
Yep.
And shall call his name Emmanuel.
Meaning what?
He's with us.
God is with us.
Yep.
Now read this prophecy in Isaiah,
Right there.
the next chapter.
Yep.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 9, verse 6. For unto us a child is born.
Unto who? Unto the nation of Israel. Unto us. Yahushai was literally given for us. Literally just for us. Keep going. Like they got that saying, just for men. You know? Keep going.
Unto us a son is given.
Yep.
And the government shall be upon his shoulders.
Now right there it says the government shall be on his shoulders. When you go to John 3:16, where it says, for God so loved the world, that world in Greek is cosmos, which means a harmonious arrangement of a government. So he's Yahushai, who they call Jesus. John 3:16, he's quoting Isaiah 9 and 6. So he's telling Nicodemus, I'm the son that was given for you. You see?
Oh, I got a quick precept.
Yep.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 2 and verse 11. Luke chapter 2 and verse 11. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior,
Woo!
which is Yahushua Mashiach the Lord, and this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly hosts, praising the Most High and saying, Glory to the Most High and the highest, and on earth peace, good will toward men.
So that's the prophecy being fulfilled.
Yep.
So let's go back to when it was prophesied, because what he just read was it being fulfilled. You see, when we get in the kingdom, you're going to find out a lot of things that we already knew back then that's not discussed today, because you are being governed under the deceiver. Okay? The deceivers, and it's not democracy, it's deception.
Right.
All right?
Right.
And his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
Keep going.
Of the increase of his government and peace, there shall be no end.
Yep.
Upon the throne of David.
Upon who?
Upon the throne of
David. Boom. Even David had Edomites enslaved. So the kingdom of heaven that is promised is also going to be the kingdom of King David, which King David is the king of who? The nation of Israel. So that's a cut right there. Keep going.
And upon the kingdom to order it and to establish it with the judgment and justice from henceforth even forever.
Oh, it said justice and judgment. So justice and judgment is going to prevail over this demonic society that people are in right now. Because when you look around, you can see people are really drunk. You know who's the drunkest? Women. Women are super drunk right now off Esau and Babylon. The so-called black woman is extremely drunk.
They're the worst.
Off Babylon right now, and then our men follow. Literally. And how many, what do you see? You see a thick Jake woman walking into a church, and who's behind her? Her man. And he's only there because of her hurt.
Yep.
He's waiting to leave so he can drink and deal with her. But he's sitting in that demonic room getting filled with all them incantations, all because he's being moved by the flesh. I had a thick black woman try to recruit me to Jehovah's Witness years ago. And I was this close. She almost had me. But I didn't have the Lord at that time. So they use thick women to get you. That's a queen of hell. That's a demon. We did that. We went a whoring after the women of Moab.
Yeah, yep.
We did that. We actually were popping so-called Asian women, but we were doing it because they got a god that you serve through sex. It's called sex magic.
Yep.
Esau does that now, man. Aleister Crowley talked about that. That's why in Hollywood, you go through certain rooms and do certain things. That's why Ephesians 5, it says it's a shame for us to speak what they do in darkness.
Yep.
All the men and women are getting popped in Hollywood right now because it's through a sex demon. You know?
Got a quick one?
Yep.
This is Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors.
Esau is the child unto us.
And the women rule over them.
This is why Big Mama's ruling right now. This is why there's a spirit on Jake to acknowledge that queen of heaven, to where he literally calls her his queen. Right? The elders say it, but in coming to America, you're a queen.
Yeah.
The word queen actually means whore.
Yeah.
The true going into words,
Yep.
it's not Queen, it's Quean.
Yep.
That's why they call her a queen bee, because a queen bee has multiple male partners. Okay? A woman has only been designed to be with one male, but under the curses, now Jake only be with one woman, but that one woman got multiple men.
100.
The whole earth is out of course right now, man. The whole entire earth.
And it says, O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err.
Right. Polite, Dr. York, okay? Nature Boy.
Oh, yeah.
Who else is on that list? Divine Prospect,
Yep.
Alizar, IUIC,
Nate,
all of you.
General Yohana.
Yep. He's told you to go get the jump shot.
Yeah.
We got it recorded. You know?
And now fast forward, all that shit was a lie. With
Yep.
the jump shot and everything.
And
It
now
was all made up.
And now Fauci's in the hot seat. Though he go Fauciing, take good heed of him.
Yeah.
You know? And it's only gonna get worse from here. They're about to introduce a new technology. And you see everybody's hooked on AI right now,
Yeah.
which you don't even know reality right now because AI is taking over. So when you turn on the news, you don't even know if this is real or not. But then if you're not grounded with the truth, it'll bug you out. It'll bug you out so much that now everything, I don't know what nothing is. Women don't exist. Everybody's a transgression. You'll just be crazy. You find yourself in a state of like loss,
Yeah.
you know?
And it says, and destroy the way of thy paths.
Yep, and that's the great perverting. They ultimately want to destroy your path back to the Father through the only begotten Son. That's why you have men that are set up to actually try to pull you back into the world. So you have to fight. Yeah, you have to fight every day. Even your cell phone is a temptation. Elon Oaktree you see what he did with the Amazonian people? He brought them internet. Now they're addicted to fucking Pornhub and soda.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He brought the internet to people in the Amazon, and now they're addicted to Kim Kardashian. You mean to tell me that this place ain't the wine of Babylon? You get a glimpse, a taste, a smell of it, and you just start, you crack out. Babylon is cracked to the creature. We're the creature. You know, when Cain got banished after murdering his brother Abel, the Lord smit him with the color of so-called white people. Cain was a man of color. Then when he murdered his brother, the Lord took his pigment from him. That's why you have so-called white people today. But when Cain got banished out, what he did was he started introducing perverseness, sexual immoral behavior to the people. You know? That's why people are the way they are right now.
I got a quick one. This is the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 10. Micah 2 and verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest.
Yeah, so meaning you got to depart from any avenue or doorway or public funding institution that says, hey, I'm here to help. All black men come to us. We're going to... No, you're not. You have to understand prophecy at the end of the day. See, the problem with Babylon, what you know as America, is it tries to tell you there's a narrative that we can control. Proverbs 20:24 says, man's goings are of the Lord. The end was declared from the beginning. You cannot sit here and try to fabricate a way for me to feel free and delivered from the current position I'm in if the Bible says otherwise. The world is not acknowledging or recognizing prophecy. At the end of the day, you have to acknowledge prophecy. So if he's telling you something that's not according to prophecy, it's not true. That's why he's a false prophet. He's a soothsayer. He's a liar. He has a forked tongue. Okay?
And it goes on to say, because it is polluted.
And it is polluted. This whole, you got a new thing that you can be infected by through the act of sex, and it gives you a fucking ringworm. How is society so bad that when the law says to be fruitful and multiply, now you being fruitful and multiplying, you could contract something, man.
Damn.
You know? That should show you how disgusting and detestable the society that we live under is in.
Yeah.
And the main carriers are women.
Yeah.
But you gotta open, hey baby, let me open the door for you, girl. You know?
Yeah.
And then she's wearing these seductive tight pants, and you don't know that she's carrying something, and now your life is ruined. And now the only thing you could do now is go to Jesus and ask him to fix it. So you physically and spiritually burnt, man.
I got real quick one. I'm gonna go back to Micah. Ezekiel 24 and verse 6, right? Because this place is a fucking cesspool, man. You know,
it's a cesspool.
You can walk down right now on West Main and see needles in the ground.
You could do things to animals. All right.
Shit is sick.
You got microplastic and everything. You know, here it is. They give you a cutting board. They make it out of plastic, and now as you're cutting your meat up, some of that plastic shards are in your meat, and now you have enough plastic in your body to produce a debit card. Here you go. You know what I mean? Like, this is terrible.
Shit is nasty, man.
This is terrible. And now you're scannable. You know, you had that Jake woman. She had a dream about scanning their wrist for a labor camp, and then she said she saw Moab attacking Babylon. So prophecy's gonna happen soon.
Regardless.
Lockdowns are coming soon.
Right.
Hey, Lord's will, it comes this summer.
Right.
Lord, they so-called said they're going to declare the third war July 18th. So Lord's will, they also lock this place down before the elections come. Because every election year, there's always been a major pestilence. Every election year has been a major pestilence. Mars replaced the M with an S. Ebola, and the list goes on and on
Right.
and on and on. Go look it up. Use Google more than twerk videos, man.
Yep.
Look it up and see. Every election year there was a pestilence. Why is that? Are we not entering into one? So what's the new one they're going to use?
This is Ezekiel 24 and verse 6. It says, wherefore, thus said the Lord power, woe to the bloody city.
This is a bloody city. Why is this city bloody? Well, it was established off bloodshed and inequity, right? When you actually look back at the history of the conception of Babylon, it was created off bloodshed and inequity. First, you had it through the multiple wars with the so-called Native Americans, who is classified as a tribe of Gad. All right, then they lied to them. They broke over 447 peace treaties with them. They so-called gave them the Black Hills, but the Black Hills known today as Mount Rushmore, and the FBI is still waging war with the Native Americans of, who owns that land, but the government gave it to the Native Americans, which we weren't called Native Americans, might I add. I grew up with Native American people. We called ourselves of the Haudenosaunee people, which means people of the hills. So just because he labels us a certain category does not mean that's how we identify ourselves. Remember I said that to you the other day? I said, you think Chinese people call themselves Chinese?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what he says.
Yeah.
But anyways, going back to the Black Hills, the government gave Gad the Black Hills. Then they recanted that giving of it because they found gold on it. And that's why they went to war with him, you know? So he's a demon and a devil and a liar. All right, and then after destroying Native Americans through, might I add, Christianity, because let's not forget about so-called Christopher Columbus, 1492, coming up from the south of the Americas, and then cutting off noses, cutting off hands. You want to know where the character Wolverine came from? It came from a man named Galvarino, who got his hands cut off by the so-called Spanish because he didn't dig enough gold. He went home, healed himself up, then he tied swords to both his hands and waged war with the Spaniards and defeated a whole damn platoon. And that's why you got the term Wolverine today, because it's not Wolverine, it's Galvarino.
He was an Apache.
He was an Apache warrior, okay? And then you had a lot of sex crimes that the Spanish was doing to our peoples, in so much that our people had to hide on the reservations to escape sexual attacks, okay? You want to know how bedbugs got here? Thank the so-called white man. Smallpox, the list just goes on and on of the atrocities that he's done here, okay? That's the conception of America. And then on top of that, after he did that, then he went to war with Reuben, Andrew Jackson, Trail of Tears. Then they said, you know what? We want to get our independence from our counterpart Britain. So then they waged war to get independence so they could freely have us in slavery. And Britain, shout out to Britain, they're a part of the reason why slavery got abolished, because they didn't know what Esau was doing to us over here, because there was a point in time where in America it was only Esau and Jacob. Do you know what he was doing to you when it was just him and us here? No cameras, okay? No CCTV, no civil rights, no Frederick Douglass, okay? He was doing a lot of terrible, nasty, disgusting things to us.
And it says, to the pot whose scum is therein, and whose scum is not gone out of it. Bring it out piece by piece. Let no lot fall upon it. For her blood is in the midst of her. She set it upon the top of a rock. She poured it upon the ground to cover it with dust. Let me see. I'm going to go down to verse 9. Therefore, thus said the Lord power, woe to the bloody city. I will even make the power for fire great. Heap on wood.
Which just in context going in on Jake.
Right, yeah.
But so is a sinful kingdom, but now Esau's calling himself us. Now, don't he take that identity? So that's going to happen to Amalek. Okay? What people don't realize is no matter what you believe in, what we're going to tell you is prophecy trumps your belief. And at the end of the day, there will be a third war, and it's going to end through nuclear fire. And the two major places that will ultimately be destroyed is Babylon and the bastard that's dwelling in Ashdod. Okay? That's Amalek.
And to finish it off, and it says, heap on the wood, kindle the fire, consume the flesh, and spice it well.
Yeah, that's what's gonna. It's gonna be spiced very well. It's going to be spiced with 2/3 of our people. It's going to be spiced with the many nations that are here. And it's going to be spiced with the missiles that he don't get to shoot off before he gets destroyed. You know?
And it says, and let the bones be burned. Yep, that was it.
Beautiful. Back in Psalms 149.
Yep. Back in Psalms, excuse me, back in Psalms chapter 149 and what verse was I at? Verse
5.
verse
4.
Yeah, verse 4. It says, for the Lord taketh pleasure in his people.
Right, so the Lord takes pleasure in us. And you know what's funny? You know what proves that we're the Lord's people? Even the society that hates us, they take pleasure in us. How many kids you see, when AI came out, how many so-called white kids did you see have the arm sleeve, have the braids, and tattoos? I seen an Edomite with a Pooh Shiesty mask on the other day. Now, who do you think influenced him to do that? Okay? But ultimately, the Lord has pleasure in us. The Lord has pleasure in his elect. So we can't put ourselves too down in the dumps. Even though Babylon makes us feel this way, we have to remember who we are. Remember Mufasa told Simba, remember who you are. You have to remember who you are and not acknowledge who he told you are. You know?
And it says, verse 4, he will beautify the meek.
Boom, he will beautify the poor. He will beautify the afflicted. He'll beautify the needy. He'll beautify the humble. He will beautify the hopeful elect. We're getting ready to be beautified, okay? And our sisters, you don't need to go to Dr. Miami and get a cheap-ass BBL. You don't need to get the lips and the Kardashian look. The Lord gonna beautify you, just like us. Us as men, we're built a different spirit, so we maintain according to our health. You know, we gotta be active. We gotta have somewhat to us. But ultimately, the Lord is what's gonna beautify us, you know? It's not gonna be the supplements. It's not gonna be Badger milk. You know, it ain't gonna be, you know what I'm saying though, like,
goat milk.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be some Dr. Sebi secret scrolls they found, came out. No, you know, we may take a little Tungat Ali, you know, Alizar, we may take some sea moss. He said it's unlawful. So, you know, but he drinks Coca-Cola and Pepsi. But you know, I'm off that.
Right.
So my point is, hey, the Lord gonna beautify us, man. You know? So Tawada Bashim El Shai. The Lord got us smiling right now. Because we got something to be happy about, because we've now found hope like Philip found Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
So we found Yahweh Shai, but in essence he found us. John 15:16, Kratazaba, ye have not chosen me, but I've chosen you. So he found us. You know? We didn't even know we were supposed to be looking. You know, the knowledge we got, we didn't even know existed. What we're fighting for, the world don't even know if there's a place that you fight for this in. You know? You got that? Yeah.
This is the book of John, chapter 15, verse 16. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whosoever ye shall ask the Father in my name, he may give it to you.
So that proves that we have to pray in the name of Yahweh Shai. So you can't say, Most High Christ bless. That's not his name. Now, technically, if you want, Christ is a title, but that's not his name. That's not the name given. What does Acts 4:12 say? Let's go to that real quick. So the name is extremely important, and you have to have faith in the name. And you know what I've been thinking about? You gotta be so much into Yahweh Shemel Shai that you also have to accept the fact, if you're not of the Lord's elect, you're not of the Lord's elect, but I still want to serve you though.
Yep.
At the end of the day, I can't guarantee if I'm of the elect, but I know that I want to serve the Lord. So even if I'm not, my spirit is still to serve you. So whatever you say is ended.
Got a chance.
Yeah, so you got to accept that, because you can't be like, oh, you're not the elect. Man, fuck this then, I'm out.
Right.
You throw the hoodie, you throw the garment off, you pick you pick up the boigas and the pork chops again.
That's why, but that's why it says was that James, it says show that works by that faith.
Exactly.
Excuse me, it says show that faith by that works.
Exactly.
You know, and then ultimately, then you find out, oh, you were
I
the
am.
elect.
Yeah.
You see?
Exactly.
That's that faith.
But you have to have that mindset, humbly, like, man, I pray I am, but whatever, meaning you're learning to accept whatever the Lord's will is.
That's right.
That's what your servant is doing. The servant is accepting whatever, that's what he gives me, that's what he gives me. You know?
Just like King David did.
Yep.
You know?
So let's read that from the top again one more time.
You
This
said
is
Acts
Acts
4:12.
4 and 12.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're good. Yep, you're good.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 4, verse 12.
God.
Neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other under heaven given among men, whereby we must be saved.
Whereby we must be saved. See that? So the name has been given for salvation to come. Now, what does this word given mean?
Now the word forgiven in the Greek, it says didomi, and the word is here, it says to give something to someone of one's own accord, to give on something his advantage, to bestow a gift.
Ooh, so the name's a gift.
To grant. Ooh, that's fire.
So us telling you the name is an act of charity.
Yes. The true name.
The true name.
Yes.
The true. So giving you the true name is an act of charity.
Oh, that reminds me of this real quick.
Okay.
This is the book of John, chapter 17 and verse 9.
So if you're not giving the name to our people, you're not covering a multitude of your sins. And you should think by living by the laws like IUIC does to the best of their ability, you know it'd be dope if they also had the name. See, I wouldn't, you know, you wouldn't get on them so much. Because it's like, I get it, they're very zealous, but they push that name though. So they're telling you, live by this law, but then if you can't, then you repent in the name of Yahweh Shai, and you're just trying to, you know, to the best of your ability. But see, they push the law more than the Lord, so then one has to come to the conclusion that, y'all ain't right.
This is the book of John, chapter 17 and verse 6. It says, I have manifested thy name.
Well, let me say this. Yahweh Shai was cutting the Pharisees in Matthew 23. He said, you push the law, but you skip over the law of mercy, faith, and hope, and like justice.
Yeah, yep, all that.
See?
Yep.
So we bring the law in too, but we also bring in the law of hope and faith, justice and judgment, not just all this checklist spirit.
Right.
You know?
And us doing that is showing fruits of the Holy Spirit,
Right.
which those other guys don't have. That's
Right.
why they're not, merciful unto the sheep, you know?
Well, that's why the elder said it's a revolving door.
Yeah.
So you have guys that just keep coming in and out, because there's no stability, you know. So anybody and everyone can join in. So how many agents have
Right.
been able to go up in there?
Right.
If you was an agent, all you gotta do is look and see which camp I could easily get into, and then you could pick. All right, hey, you go to WFI.
Yeah.
You go to Sakari. All you gotta do is give $29 to Deacon Akah, and now you got all the breakdowns, and you receive a scholarship from the Sakari University.
Yep.
So now you just gave an agent all the information he needs to blend right in.
And that's one thing too, even out here in the world, and like, you know, Babylon show you that shit. Like, you can go to Walmart, not be an employee, but dress up as a Walmart employee. People think that you work at Walmart, but you just infiltrated the store, but, you know, you're trying to, you know, prank and do some shit. So how much more, you know, this truth?
Yep.
You know, and they show you that in, what's that movie, Judas and the Black Messiah?
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So this is John 17 and 6 going in about the name. It says, I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. And a quick testimony, you know, when I heard, you know, the true names from this brother right here, I said, wait a minute, hold up, what you just say? What's that name? Because in the world, you know, Jesus Christ it don't move you. But when you hear the true names, like something in your spirit just clicks. You know, it feels good, it sounds right. And it says, thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world, thine they were.
Thine they were.
Right, yep, that's that picture. That was a picture this brother right here showed me when I first came to the truth right there. And I took a picture of that picture right there off my phone. I said, wait a minute, bro, let me get that picture right there.
Give me $12.
Right.
$1 for each tribe.
Right, that's horrible.
And
right?
then give me $20, I'll give you a name. You right?
Yeah, that's what these wicked Israelites do.
Did we do that to you?
Nope. No. The Hawashai said, freely receive, freely give.
Buy the truth and sell it not.
That's right.
You
Back
got
in
a precept, brother?
Yeah, this is the back of
Oh,
what you said, what you were saying about the name.
Mm-hmm.
So when you heard the name, it resonated with you.
That's right, yeah.
So this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe.
Right.
So that's what you did.
Right. Yeah, that's right. And how we safe. because you calling upon the name of the Lord, it protects you, it defends you. What's that? Sirach 2, and what's that? Verse 10, it says, "Who has ever been forsaken or confounded, who has called upon the name of the Lord?" And what's that answer? Nobody. If you call upon the name of the Lord, you're gonna be protected, which is Yahweh, Bahashimi Habashai, right?
And even if you call on the Lord and you die, you are still protected because you were delivered from the evils to come.
Yeah.
Isaiah 57.
Yep.
Acts 7. Stephen. See.
Oh yeah.
He said, and
Yeah. Stephanie, he saw Yahweh Shai in the right hand of the Heavenly Father Yahweh, sitting on the throne.
Oh, Yahweh Shai called on the Father and he died, but
Yep.
he said, "I commend my spirit unto thee." He died because the prophecy had to be fulfilled. He had to loose the seals.
That's right.
See? So even in us living or us so-called dead, we're still with Yahweh Bashem Shai.
That's right.
So this world can't do nothing. What's that proving? That this whole world's gonna have to conform as the creatures they are to the Creator.
Oh yeah.
You're just gonna have to conform.
Yeah.
You know?
What's that? Philippians says that all knees shall bow.
Exactly.
All creatures shall bow.
You can't have a factory line and you're making these cars and then this one car says, "I want to be made like this." You can't do that. It says the potter has power over the clay.
Right.
We're the clay. You didn't decide that you could be here. You know?
Back in John 17:6, was it more than that precept? That was it, right? Okay. John 17:6, and it says, "Thine they were, and thou gavest them me."
Thine they were. So the elect was Yahweh's, and then Yahweh gave that elect to Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
And Yahweh Shai and the elect actually created the earth that we're standing upon. The powers. See, this thing.
Oh man.
This thing is bigger. You know what I mean? It's bigger than Nino Brown. This thing is big, man. It's more than you think. And really what you're finding out is I've been lied to. I've been lied by Sesame Street. You know what I mean? You've just been lied to on every angle.
Our whole life.
You know, you're on Earth and all you know is Detroit. Like, bro, that tells you something. Why is it so hard to travel on Earth, but you're on Earth? Why have you never left? You know? Why do you need a passport to get back in?
Right.
Or to go to this country? Why is Earth so locked down under draconiousness?
Yeah.
You know?
Even Esau, he put a time limit on beaches and parks. Nah, man, the beach closed at 10 p.m.
In 5 minutes.
How does water close down, man? But we're in Earth. It says, John 17:6, and thou gavest them and me, and they have kept thy word. Now they have known that all things whatsoever thou hast given me are of thee. That was the point right there about the name. Now
go back, break that down. There's stuff in there.
So like my bad.
You're good.
John 17:6, it says, and thou gavest them me.
Yep. So Yahweh Shai was given to Yahweh Shai. All right. That's why Yahweh Shai had disciples, and then they got sent out as apostles. Keep going.
And it says, and they have kept thy word.
So that word was kept all the way to the ends of the earth. He said, in the ends of the earth, there I will visit you. So if you didn't know, we're in the ends of the earth right now, because main poppin' society is the Middle East. Okay, let's be honest.
It is.
Okay, things are actually happening in those regions over there. This is trash land. Okay, this is just trash land. Flesh. You know, that's all this place is. It's drunkenness. It's flesh. It's just party. But the real, like even Russia has got a good vibration right now.
Yeah.
The chemicals that we have to breathe in, all right, and breathe out. The food we got to eat. Okay, the relationships, the experiences, the things that we've seen with these eyes should no man have saw, because it affects you. You got children in Oklahoma that tested positive for post PTSD.
Damn.
Okay, when that's supposed to happen in war. So you have our people at war every day in good old US of A, but we're supposed to love this place? Come on, man. Because if I could, I would leave. GMS Bolivia, GMS Brazil, all right? I'd be up in there. I'd have about 4 sons teaching with me, one holding a sign, have a wife in a beach chair. But my point is, life, it would be better out of Babylon, but we are enduring this indignation because we've sinned. But we got to eat this food, but we can tell you it tastes like shit. We're spiritual reviewers, you know? So we ain't giving this place a 1 star. I want to do a lesson, but I'm not. I want to do a lesson because I feel in my spirit my testimony of experiencing white America. You know?
Yeah.
And you ask Jake's their testimony of white America, it's gonna be terrible. Okay? It's gonna be longer than Schindler's List. Keep going.
Verse 7. It says, now they have known that all things whatsoever.
Oh, they've known all things. How do we now know all things? But we went to public school. This is 1 John. All right? This is 1 John, not the 2nd John. Or Little John. 1 John 1. Check this out. 1 John 1 and 18.
Okay.
Excuse me, 1 John 2 and 21. Read that again. What it say?
Yep. It says, now they have known that all things.
How do they know all things? 1 John 2 and 20. But ye have an unction. Unction meaning anointed. So we are actually the true Christians. Okay? The true Hamashiachians. All right? Because Christian goes into what you call Christ, which goes into anointed. So we're the anointed. For us to preach the gospel, we'd have to be anointed. Okay? It says, but ye have an unction from the Holy One, and ye know all things. So now we know all things. All right? That's what Yahushua is telling us right here. Read it again.
Yep. It says now, John 17 and verse 7.
Let's start bringing some incense.
Right. It says, now they have known that all things whatsoever thou hast given me are of thee. Real quick, I got a quick one. This is the same verse, but in the NLT. It says, now they know that everything I have is a gift from you. Going about earlier about that gift, being that name.
Yep.
You see, so everything that Yahweh Shai gave to the elect, he got it from the Most High Yahweh. It's a divine chain reaction.
Well, here, let me get it for you. 1 Corinthians 11, and that what that proves. What that proves is that's how we need to be with this truth. Freely give, freely receive. So we can't be holding out on the sheep with the meal. Like, what are you doing? Everybody got to eat. And we all got to eat off this nutritional meal that's been given to all of us. So, in essence, we're being used to feed Yahweh Shai's elect. This is 1 Corinthians 11 and 1. Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Hamashiach. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things. So we're going to have to remember. Well, this is Paul saying remember him, which remember the doctrine, to break down the scriptures. But we also got to remember Yahweh B'Shem Shai in the midst of Jacob's trouble, because we're going to have to go back to Psalms 149.
Yeah.
But the point is, hey, prophecy is getting ready to happen. We're going to have to be mindful in the midst of life or death situations, that where you're going to have, okay, I'll give you a testimony. So years ago, I had an ailment that it basically put me bedridden. So the demon said, right now, you can either call on Jesus or you could call on Yahweh Shai. So I started calling on Yahweh Shai. But the point is, you're going to be put in a position where you're going to be feeling something, and you're going to have to make a conscious spiritual decision of who you trust in and what name you're going to call on. And it says, and keep the ordinances as I have delivered them to you. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Yahweh Shai, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Yahweh Shai is Yahweh. See, so going like you said, it's a trickle effect. It's order. It's rank.
Right.
Okay? Yep. President, vice president, right. So it's all order, how it flows down, Or they got a saying in the world, like when you're like in Esau's military, they say shit rolls downhill.
Yeah.
So it's you get something, now he gonna have to do something.
Yeah.
Then when he gets something, he gonna be all on you. You see? So it's all order's sake. So there's a ranking system that's taking place. Hence why it says the government is on his shoulders. So we're actually partaking in the establishment of a government that will rule forever. Daniel 7:18 says, the saints of the kingdom, they shall take the kingdom forever and ever, even forever.
That's right.
So there's a government that's actually being established that will be in a position of power over creature and creation forever, and we're being allowed to partake in that. So you're darn tootin'. I look away when temptation is coming abroad, because I'm like, this ain't even worth it. You know, the Lord is waking us up to our value and who we are. So when we get treated like shit from these people, I'm not upset or pissed off and, girl, do you know who I am? Nah, it's okay, because it's the Lord's will, you know? So for brothers out there, remember the Lord said you don't lack nothing good. So if women ain't giving you the time of the day, that's their loss.
Yep.
Okay?
And plus, they're wicked.
They're wicked.
It says that a wicked woman to a wicked man.
Yep.
So if she's wicked, that means that the Lord took her from you. That means you're righteous.
Yep.
You know.
So you ain't lacking nothing.
Yeah. It says that what's that? I believe in Ecclesiastes. It says that he that is with the wicked woman, the Lord make a way for him to escape out from her.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. So as speaking as a man. But for you sisters out there, y'all gotta understand, you about to be one of our wives. Because what you gonna do? You gonna shalom to the kingdom? We're entering different times. You know, right though?
Yeah.
You women, you supposed to have a husband. You know, you can call me long distance shalom.
Well, I gotta,
but I'm being serious.
Yeah.
I'm being and what I mean is not for just individual gain. Jacob's trouble's coming. It says she'll be saved through childbearing and faith. It says 7 women shall take hold of 1 man. That's an Israelite man, a man of the Lord. Time's coming. It's about to get raw out here. You know?
Got a quick precept, land back what you said about government.
Yep.
This is Isaiah chapter 2.
We're about to have spiritual power.
Oh, hell yeah.
You're going to be able to, the water ain't going to run out for us. I truly believe that.
Yeah.
You're going to have some water. Mind the plastic. You know, we're poor. But, you know, you got the water. The Lord will keep it so it don't run out. Remember the basket of fish and bread?
Yeah.
You know, it didn't run out.
Unlimited.
So that's what we're entering into. We're on our way towards the kingdom. You know, we're not looking to be Israelites in the club or certain type of gain to show the community.
Right.
You got other Israelites. I wouldn't even show none of my women. You know, if I had, you would not see them. You wouldn't know their names. You wouldn't know where they at, because that's none of your business.
Right.
That's a family affair. We're all seeking a salvation to get out of here. You know, but you got other Israelites that broadcast their women, and you could mess around and put an envious spirit on one of your newer, younger members, seeing everything you got and what they don't got. So you got to know how to handle the people, man. You're not a right politician. You're not a right government official.
Yeah, you gotta be a good leader.
You gotta be a good leader.
Shepherd. So land back what you said about the government, right? Isaiah 2 in verse 1, it says the word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established. And who is the Lord's house? Israel, right? It says
House of David.
Right, that's right. Thou would die, house of David.
Yep.
It says,
which will also be Solomon's kingdom, because the Lord said he chose Solomon, which Solomon's Yahweh Shai. So it's a beautiful, you know, position of power that we see upon Yahweh Shai, then to King David, because King David said, the Lord said to my Lord. So even King David called Solomon his Lord, because he knew his Lord was Yahweh Shai.
Ooh, he was in the spirit, man. Ooh, that's a heavy spirit. That's the Holy Spirit right there. And it says that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established, and the top of the mountains.
Mountains meaning government, okay? When those government officials get together, they call it a summit meeting.
Yep.
You know, and the summit is what the peak of the government.
The highest point in the mountain.
Thank you.
Yep, it's the highest point in the mountain. And it says right, I'm starting from the top. It says in verse 2, Isaiah 2 and 2, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain, meaning the government, the mountain of the Lord's house,
the horn,
shall be established in the top of the mountains.
So it's going to be established. It's going to be established over other nations that are left
right.
after the dust settles from the third and last war. What did it say? Einstein? He said, "I know how to." What did he say?
Einstein said, "I know how World War III is gonna happen, but World War IV,
end.
But we have how to end. But World War IV is gonna be fall with sticks and stones, you know."
And that was in the time of the Manhattan Project.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And it says, "And shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it."
They're gonna have to, because it tells you if they don't flow unto it, then they'll be given no rain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and rain, latter rain, that's good for crops harvest, which proves there ain't gonna be no corner stores in the kingdom.
Right.
You know, you're gonna need rain, you're gonna need land, you're gonna need substance to grow for you, or you're gonna be impoverished.
Right.
But the only way for you to receive these blessings of natural occurrences in nature is abiding by the laws, statutes, and commandments that are given to you by the Lord's people.
Yeah.
All right?
I believe it says that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says that.
Yeah.
And it says, verse 3 says, and many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord. And the people is talking about the other nations, you know, because they're gonna come to us for everything. Just like right now, you know, Jake, you know, under the curses, we got to go, you know, to them, right? For everything, you know, need and wants. And it says, come ye and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the power of Jacob.
It's so bad that Jake desires to go to Esau for everything.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they choose to.
Welfare, food stamps.
Mm-hmm.
Now we understand the position that you're in, that you know, that you got to go through these things, but you got so-called black women that says that the government's her baby daddy.
Yep.
So they're completely drunk off of this system, you know. And then remember when you were younger, they called it government cheese. He sells you cheese now that don't even melt, you know? So you don't even know what you're ingesting, what you're eating, what's it gonna do to you in the future, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you want to say you got that?
No, you're good.
Okay.
I'm gonna,
and it says, and he will teach us of his ways, and then he's talking about the elect, right? And he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths, for out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. So we're going to be, you know, governing, you know, the whole known world, you know, because real quick, we go to the book of Revelation, I believe chapter 2 and verse, let's see, verse 26, it says, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, meaning what? Enduring to the end, right? Not taking that MOTB, right? Being delivered, right? And keeping my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. So us doing this, you know, this work, and anyhow, Bashmal Shai, is going to be a beautiful payout, if you will, a spiritual payout.
Yes.
You know?
that penny
Exactly.
is gonna be a very valuable
Exactly.
ingot.
Exactly.
You know?
Because people right now, you know, like celebrities, you know, they can bet, you know, thousands of dollars on a DraftKings game and get a huge payoff if they win. But we're investing in a bigger payout than they ever have, you know, imagined.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this payout is eternal. Because I believe in Rev 14, it says that their works follow them.
Yep.
Meaning the works that they put in, anyhow, about Shema Shai.
Well, the curses followed us, so why wouldn't the blessings?
Right. Makes
The
sense.
Lord's about duality.
Right.
And I got that prophecy.
Oh, yeah.
This is Zechariah, which Yahweh Shai mentions Zechariah in the 23rd chapter when he's rebuking you wicked Israelite camps and saying that you murdered him. That's what Yahweh Shai said. This is Zechariah 14 and 16, going off the Isaiah, the 2nd chapter.
Yes.
Are you still in that one?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Okay.
I got it.
And then I would like to get a little into that Psalms because it's a short chapter.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So we'll see how it goes. This is Zechariah 14 and 16. And Zechariah was in the time of the King Darius. It says, and it shall come to pass, so this is a future prophecy, that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even, see, that's left. So that means there's going to be certain nations that ain't going to be found. There's going to be certain people, like, you'll have the beast system, you'll have the elites, but you ain't going to have the Babylonian nation Edomites running around. They're going to have to be born into the kingdom, you know? And it says, and it shall come to pass that everyone that is left, that's why it says those that are alive and remain.
Right.
That word remain means survive. The word survive means to live after one's death. Psalms 91 says, 1,000 on thy right, 10,000 on thy left.
Yep.
Okay, so whoever is left, when the dust settles, this is the requirements they're going to have to live by. It says, and it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem, which don't it say that in the Maccabees, which nation has not partook?
Yep.
You see?
Yeah.
This is why Moab does your nails, Ishmael gives us chicken, Elam gives us liquor, And, you know, Ham gives us white tees.
It
You
says
know?
that also, too, I believe, Daniel 9 and 12.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it says, all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the king. So that king would have to be King David that they're going to worship. The Lord of hosts, and that's Yahushai, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles, which IUIC would be good at coordinating that. It says, and it shall come, and it's like it, brothers. It says, and it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth. So if you're on earth in our kingdom, this is what you're required to do. It says, let me get my point back. It says, of all the families of the earth under Jerusalem to worship the king, comma, the Lord of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain. So there's going to be penalties. Like right now, if you don't pay a certain bill, your water gets shut off. If you don't pay certain bills, your lights get shut off. So that's going to happen again, but it's going to happen because the requirements that they got to live by, they're no longer living up to that because they're being a demon. So now they're going to be judged. So they're going to have to deal with a drought until we decide to go to that land, you know?
Back in night, I'm sorry.
It says, yeah, that's it.
Okay. Back in Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 4, it says, and then I go back to Psalms 149. For this. Isaiah 2 and verse 4, it says, and he shall judge among the nations, and he's like the elect, right? Yahushai, right? And shall rebuke many people, and meaning the nations, because they got to get right, because right now, Babylon, they basically, make you submit into, following, their laws, right? So how much more, the laws of Yahweh Shema Shai through us, And it says, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks.
So they're going to beat Esau's blessing out the earth.
You're damn right.
You know?
That's right.
Because where other nations have weaponry, yeah, Cain was, one of his sons was an artificer. Yep. But Esau was specifically blessed with the sword. Mm-hmm. So we're not going to need Esau's blessing in our kingdom. Yeah. So that's a cut. And that, matter of fact, that's a cut to you in Babylon. The mere fact that you need a gun to protect yourself from something that could happen shows you that your society is unfit and the people within it. Right. Why you got to fear somebody breaking in your home if these people are living under a code and conduct of morale?
Yeah. And just like Craig Daddy said, he said, what is that? He says, that a gun?
Or like in Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, yep.
You know? Like Sweden that has like zero crime.
Damn.
There's places outside of Babylon that don't deal with the pollution, garbage, okay? They got free health care. Yeah. There's a lot of places that actually are operating a society that's sustainable for creatures. Mm-hmm. You know, shit, Moab will have a whole village of cats, and they're fine. Yeah. You know?
And it says, nation shall not lift up sword against nation.
Meaning there's not going to be issues to come to blows of world war anymore. So that right there shows you God didn't bless America because the mere fact is they're still going to war with each other. Mm-hmm. You know, people are rioting right now on campuses and schools. You know, the judicial system's completely jacked up. There is no justice. Who do you call when a police officer abuses your civil rights or your rights as an American, who do you call on the police? Ain't nobody arresting the police. So you're completely assed out here. You're literally at the whim of whatever Esau wants to do to you. And you can't do nothing about it. You know?
And it says, neither shall
they... But see, Jake doesn't want to acknowledge how jacked up they are, because if they did, it will bug them out of their current situation. Mm-hmm. So what keeps them coping along is the many mechanisms that he gives you, and at a very cheap rate. So like the movie They Cloned Tyrone, she was complaining about her situation, and then the salon woman was putting some purple goo in her hair. Yeah. And she said, and then I'm tripping. Yep. So he put her ass right to sleep. Yep. You're under chemical warfare. You have no idea.
Yep.
You know?
And it says, neither shall they learn war anymore. Right? Because in our kingdom, it's not going to be any war. It's going to be complete peace and harmony.
Yep.
You know?
Well, I believe it says our walls will be the walls of sanctuary or salvation. Let me look that up.
Beautiful.
Oh, well, the Garden of Eden is coming back. You know? The Garden of Eden is coming back, and the last Adam will be governing it for us.
That's
you know?
Right.
And we're going to have the Yahushua spirit within us because the new covenant's going to be in us. You know?
That's right. Yep.
What did I say I was going to grab?
You said about the walls of salvation.
Oh, the water.
Something like that.
Yep.
Back in Psalms 149 and verse, let's see here, verse 4. It says, for the Lord taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation.
He don't take pleasure in 2/3.
Nope.
He don't take pleasure in World Star. He don't take pleasure in the wicked false prophets and shepherds of our people. He said he hates your feast days. So the Lord takes pleasure in his elect.
That's right. And it says, he will beautify the meek with salvation. And that word beautify, we go into, it means glory or to be glorified, you know? So the Lord's going to exalt his men very soon, just like he exalted Yahushua. And it says, verse 5, let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds.
Oh, that was going into that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's the Holy Spirit. Let's read that again.
Yeah. Verse 5, let the saints be joyful in glory.
Yep.
Let them sing aloud upon their beds.
Now let's look at that, right? Singing. When have you ever woke up singing in America? Right? Bro, you'll wake up with anxiety, worry. You got to wake up to some screaming machine. You're jumping out of bed into a 2-ton vehicle, if you're allowed to have one, racing on this 20-foot wide road with other people that are incapable of driving, damn near killing yourself to show up and proclaim yourself to be happy, to sell something to someone else for $17 an hour. Come on, man. This place is hell.
That's hell.
$20 an hour is hell. Then you got to look. If you look, let's imagine that you got paid cash. And they said, I'm going to pay you $20 an hour. And then you just did all this work in that hour. And you only giving me $20? $20?
Oh, shit.
And 2024, are you kidding me? And we're supposed to be in the future. Poor problems, new technology. That's what it is. You still have poor people problems, but he gives you new technology to take pictures of it with. Read this again, please.
Yep, it says, let the saints, and the saints are the Israelites.
Yep,
Let
the elect.
Right, the elect, the Israel of the Most High. Let these saints be joyful in glory.
So joy is coming for us, because you don't find joy here. You got to sip, you got to do this, you got to do that to find a little bit of peace, but just natural joy and happiness, you're not going to get that. Because the position you've been given under this society that so-called freed you, this is what he gives you. That the reason why you got tips in the waitress industry is for slaves.
Yep.
Because they needed to give them something. This is why they came up with that percentage of this is how much money you get,
Yep.
you know?
Yeah.
So when you really look back at our experience here in Babylon, what you proudly call America, it ain't that good. But the Bible tells us why, the reasons these things happen, and when's it gonna end. Now, no man knows the time, hour, day, but at least we understand what's coming for the future for us. Like Noah. Noah moved through faith and fear that a flood was coming. That's why he built the ark. So what you're witnessing is us building right now. When you go into the definition of the word building, it means to edify.
Yep.
So we're building an ark right now through edification, but Yahushua said the days of his return would be as the days of Noah. And in the days of Noah, only 8 souls made it out. And the scholars, they estimated there was 4 billion people on earth and only 8 were delivered. So don't push God is just of all love, okay? So read this again.
And it says, let the saints be joyful in glory.
Yep.
Let them sing aloud upon their beds.
Singing, we ain't gonna be singing in the bastard tongue of English either.
Right.
Which if you go back to the history of what you know English, Old English was created by us when we were ruling in what you call the Dark Ages, which it was known as the Byzantine Empire. Before that, it was called the Holy Roman Empire because the pagan Roman Empire, or the western parts of it, fell because of prophecy, and we ruled up in that stead. What's ruled over into what? Germany, which goes into Germain, Okay? Keep going.
And it says, verse 6, let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth in the two.
Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai. We're going to be speaking in the tongue of the heavens. Okay? Keep going.
And it says,
With a what?
It says, in a two-edged sword in their hand.
So why is the saints in what you know as heaven, why are the saints, which you know in heaven, are going to have a two-edged sword in their hand? That's dominion right there.
Yeah.
Okay? And heaven will be on earth. Heaven will be on earth. What proves that? Matthew 6, the Lord's Prayer. Let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
That's right.
So what is in heaven is soon coming on earth. So what are we identified in heaven? Well, we're not identified as black people, okay? So soon the rank and the acknowledgement and truth of who we are in heaven is soon going to be showcased throughout the world. This is why it says all knees shall bow.
That's right.
All knees are going to bow, okay? Right now, it's you can get away with deception. You can get away with AI. You can get away with taxing, fractional banking. You can get away with wokeness. You can get away with just saying BLM. You know, you can get away with this monetary system right now. But prophecy is going to overshadow. Prophecy is going to knock the Tower of Babel down again. All right?
And it says, verse 7, to execute vengeance.
Vengeance. Doesn't it say, those that are troubled rest with us, taking a fiery vengeance on them that know not the Most High and take not heed to the gospel?
Yep.
So vengeance is coming. The Hebrew word, or the Lashawan Kodash, for the word that you know in English as vengeance is called naquam. So naquam is coming, okay? But the Lord's going to bring vengeance. This is why we don't have to go to the town hall, the judicial system. We don't have to vote, okay? We don't have to go through their system to find a leg up in this society, because this society isn't set up for us. We're under a heathen's empire, you know?
And it says, to execute vengeance upon the heathen.
Vengeance upon the heathen. So now the Bible is given a classification upon nationality. And what we found out is the heathen are the people that are not of the Lord's chosen.
Yep.
The Lord chose a nation of people, hence why he delivered them out of Egypt from those heathen Egyptians, which Egyptian is a Greek word from Mitzrayim, okay? So we got delivered out of the house of bondage. But then John the Revelator, all the way in the Roman Empire, eons later, referred to what you know as America as spiritual Egypt. Why? Because the same chosen children that got delivered out of literal Egypt, he saw them being delivered out of the spiritual Egypt, which is also called Sodom. And you see the days a lot. There's a lot of transgressions. Catch my drift? Keep going.
And it says, and punishments upon the people.
So punishments is coming because scourges have been sent for amendments, but people haven't listened. So now we're all getting ready to enter a day of visitation from the creature through the only begotten Son. Now the floodgates is getting ready to be open like in the days of Noah, and the host of heaven is coming. So what are people going to do? Because the most thing you're going to be able to do right now is to have to worry about a famine, worrying about defending your family against the standing powers that be, the UN troops, the third war, the mandatory microchipping, pestilence going on, and all in the midst of that, you're going to have to worry about the only begotten Son coming back with the host of heaven, Mayaka Allah, standing up as a great prince that's standing up for the people. What are y'all going to do about it? You can't call 911. 911's going to be in trouble. What are you going to do in that day? The only thing you can do is conform to prophecy, okay?
And it says, verse 8, to bind their kings with chains.
So now kings are being bound. The Bible is referring to those powers that be that are governing you people, lording over you people, are actually going to be bound by the men of the Lord. That sounds like justice to me. As a matter of fact, Proverbs 29 comes to mind, so let me grab that. This is Proverbs 29 and the second verse. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. So when the righteous get in authority, natural order of justice is going to be implemented in a system to govern the people. So why are kings going to be bound? Because these are wicked kings. So now a new rulership, new management is going to have to take place. And guess what? We're even going to set up the powers that be in these heathen nations. So you got, like right now, Argentina just elected an Amalek as their president, and Issachar's got an Amalek president now too. First female, but she's also of the Ish. So who's in their pocket? those people aren't sovereign. Those people got Edomites over them too, you know? So the powers that be are actually wicked, because it says if you honor the poor, you honor the Lord.
Yep.
So you got whole part of the world completely and poor, destitute. Homeless is on nothing but a rise. And now you decide to close the borders. You already got 30 to 40 million migrants in Babylon alone. You got the whole UN here getting ready to take Babylon over. So you got unprofitable leaders, you know? They only give you 3 days of food in your local grocery stores. So what happens when the gas and diesel prices go up and now truckers can't bring in food and goods for you? But you got over $500 on your debit card and you can't even use it because there ain't no food in this grocery store that was set up to feed you.
Yeah.
So you got unprofitable rulers talking about vote for me, you know?
Mm-hmm. And it
that
says,
smoke is killing me.
Yeah.
That smoke is literally killing me.
And it says to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. What does that mean? Slavery. That means slavery. It says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Thank you.
That's scriptural.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
We didn't lead ourselves into captivity. Who did it? You know, of course, it's through Yahweh Shemashah's prophecy, but who took part? Esau. You know, it says that he's the head of the crafty council. So it's only, like you said earlier, duality. So it's only right for, you know, us to get our lick back, as Jake said, you know?
Well, when you think about it, all the nations that had us in slavery, someone overtook them. It's
Right,
like that
yep.
movie, City of God,
Yeah,
where they
yeah.
all argued over that one trap house.
Yep.
And then this dude took it.
Then he took it.
And then he got killed, they took it.
Yep.
You know, so it's just like now, like let's just go into the Assyrians had us, and then the Babylonians took over the Assyrians. Then Babylon got taken over by the Persians and the Medes. Persians and Medes got taken over by the Greeks. Greeks got taken over by the Romans. Romans got taken over by us. So if you look, you know what I mean, it's a continual cycle, but who had us got judged too.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, all right, I'm done with them. And then they're over here like, nah, you went to war too. So this is why war is coming. This is why World War III is prophesied in the Bible. Because the third war is going to ultimately lead to our deliverance out of this captivity that we're in.
That's right.
Do you know during the second war they had race riots, shortages and scarcity of food, and they had FEMA camps? Okay, so don't just think that this war is going to happen and you're going to be sitting here chilling, waiting for the bus or waiting for a paycheck. Okay, they gave out ration points for you to even buy food at the grocery store, even though you had money for it.
Right.
This is what your government did. Okay, so all we're doing is you got a problem with the weathermen, but you don't got a problem with the storm that's actually coming.
Right.
You know.
And it says, and their nobles with fetters of iron.
Yeah, so that's all of them. Like in the movie Demolition Man, when Simon Phoenix took over that body, that elite.
Yep.
You had that extra big Edomite heathen. He said he immediately conformed.
Yeah, yep.
His master got killed. He said, "I can do many things for you, whatever you need." So he was ready to switch sides.
Yep.
You know.
Yes,
Let's read that from the top again.
Psalms 149 and verse 8. To bind their kings with chains.
Find his ass up.
And a good movie that I like to go into about this, the Planet of the Apes. You know, the very first one with Charleston Heston. You know, they were literally in chains, you know?
And then he saw the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
And he said, "You did it. Damn it, you did it, Joe.
Damn you all to hell.
We did it, Joe."
And it says...
And where the hell is Mama La at?
Right.
You know what I mean? Where's Lisa Simpson at? You know, because the Simpsons, they show Lisa Simpson as president.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So they're going to implement Mama La.
Yeah.
That's what they call her now.
Called Leia Bashimashai. They moved away.
Yeah, the Wadiya Bashimashai. That smoke was killing me.
Verse 9, it says, to execute upon them the judgment written.
Wait, so judgment is written.
So written.
So judgment is written, so we got to continue to fulfill prophecies that are written. So even in our kingdom of heaven, prophecy will still be being fulfilled. When we get our wives and we have children, well, that's one shall become 1,000. When we live forever, that's Daniel 7 and 18. You know, when we bind Esau, that's Rev 13 and 10. You know, when we go into the bunkers, that's Amos. You know,
Amos 9.
When we this is Sparta, Esau into the pit, that's Obadiah 18.
That's right.
You know, so there's a lot of prophecies that are still going to be being fulfilled and the kingdom of heaven, which will be on earth, and it will be ruled and governed by the nation of Yasharallah.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right.
Banyam Shal Yasharallah, sons of the Prince of Power, Princess of Power.
Verse 9, it says, to execute upon them the judgment written, and this reminds you of the scripture. What's that, real quick? This is the book of Psalms. We've been in Psalms all camp.
Yeah.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 2, and verse, what did it say? The inheritance of the heathen? Got it. Psalms 2 and verse 8. It says, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance. And actually, you know, this is according to our law, because we're allowed to have heathens as slaves,
Yep.
but we can't have, you know. Now, of course, we can have Hebrew servants, but we can't rule over our Hebrew brothers with rigor,
Right.
You know. But we can have heathens slaves and them serving us. So this is actual according to our law.
And when we're in the kingdom, why would we have a Hebrew servant?
Right.
The only Hebrew servant we'd have is the heathens that come from the line of Ibar.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, why would we need a Hebrew servant in the first place? Because they're going to be good. They're going to have the new covenant. Their father's going to be established. You know, so there's certain laws we don't even need to apply. You know what I mean?
All right. And it says, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance. And just like Paul Tahar says, you know, he says true riches and blessings, that slaves. You know, slaves and servants, man, that's true riches. That's money. Esau still got back pay from us being slaves here in Babylon. But Jake didn't see none of that money. You see? And it says, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. So what does that mean? That we're going to get the whole known globe, the whole known world. Everything is going to be ours. Yahweh Shai said to his men, what's that, John 14? He said that, it said, in my father's house there are many mansions, many planets, universes. So not only we're going to have the earth for our possession, but space, everything. You know, so, come on, you think we're dealing with Yahweh Bashim Shai, the ultimate power. You think our kingdom is going to be boring?
Yeah, don't limit us.
Come on, we're going to have spiritual power. We're going to be many most highs.
Don't limit us.
Yahweh Shai said, the works that I do, you're going to do greater. And Yahweh Shai did many works. I believe in the last chapter in John, it said that the works that Yahweh Shai did, the earth couldn't even contain it. So come on, man, how much more he's meant?
This is Joshua 1 and 2. It says, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, thou and all this people, and unto the land which I do give to them, even to the children of Yasharallah. Every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that have I given unto you, as I said unto Moses.
Meaning what? The whole earth is, what's that, Second Edges, what's that,
Made
6?
for us?
Yeah, the word is meant for our sakes. You know, this is our paradise. This is our heaven. You know, not right now, obviously, but it's meant for us, for the Israelites, you see? But right now, you know, the heathen, they are over us, but soon they're going to be under us.
Which is spiritual, because when I grew up, Esau used to say, you breathe in all the white man's air, which is comical. But at the same time, that actually, in that same essence, that notion belongs to us. You know what I mean? Like, this is our air. What you call air, what you call land, what you call earth, this is all ours. This is all Yahweh Bashim Shai's, but he bestowed it upon us. So it's beautiful to know this truth now after experiencing, you know, surviving Esau.
Right.
Do a documentary on that. Surviving Esau. Surviving Edom.
Hey, what's the term you always used to say? The Edomite removal act.
A new era.
A new era is coming.
Yep. I got this one. We had quoted about the walls.
Oh yeah.
This is Isaiah, which we need to start reading Isaiah a lot more. This is Isaiah 60 and 16. It says, let me start at 15. It says, whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations, because we've had so many terrible generations that you'll have our people say, we want to break the generational curses.
Yep.
So we're about to enter generational blessings.
That's right.
All right. Barakyam. It says, Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, and shall suck the breast of kings. So we're going to have your substance. We're going to be able to have all these substances from you. It says, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, and I, the Lord, am thy Savior and Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. For brass I will bring gold, and for iron I will bring silver, and for wood brass, and for stones iron. I will also make thy officers peace, and thy exactors righteousness.
Ooh.
Violence shall no more be heard in thy land,
Man.
wasting nor destruction within thy borders, but thou shalt call thy walls salvation, and thy gates praise.
Man, that's ultimate balance right there, because right now, everything that's happening right now is the opposite, because Esau is ruling.
Right,
'Cause right now, it said brass for wood.
right,
It said for gold.
right.
Our streets gonna be paved with gold. Our battlements in the kingdom for our mansions and castles gonna be, oh my goodness, man, it's gonna be astounding.
Yep.
You know?
And it's all gonna operate in accordance to ecosystem.
Right.
You're gonna see
Right.
how gold is beneficial for the roads. You know, you're
Right.
gonna see how precious crystals are better than LED lights. You know, you're gonna see why
Man.
flakes of silver and mint and silver, mint and gold is good for the water
Man.
and drinking it. Because right now you could jump in water and get a brain anemia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could die, man.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta be praying over that
Yeah.
water.
In Babylon, certain lakes and ponds and lakes and oceans you can't even swim in.
You can't. They'll tell you you can only have a certain amount of fish
Yep.
per 6 months.
Because the mercury and shit.
Come on.
Come on, man.
You got any closing precepts? Was that it on Psalms 49?
No. It's a little more.
Okay.
Uh,
You're about to be at the end, right? Of it?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, we'll end it on that. That'll be camp.
Psalms 149:9 it says, to execute upon them the judgment written.
Oh, that's another thing. So we got time. We're getting ready to execute judgment. So don't Arthur ball your fist in a grocery line, even though that Edomite may deserve it.
Right.
I'd rather be in power to where I don't have to worry about, you think the camera saw me? You think they got a warrant? Damn, they got our license. Nah, man. We got to bear the indignation. We got to be at peace with all men. The Lord said, vengeance is mine. Wait till I rise up to the prey. You got it right now. You got it, big dog. My bad, Brad. You know what I mean? Let him have it.
And it says,
And I'm sorry, and some of the most skilled fighters actually try not to fight.
yeah.
So you don't gotta swallow your pride. You know? You ain't a carpet, but if there's a way to apply, wisdom is better than weapons of war. If you can apply a way to get out of a situation, get out of it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And it says, this honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, Lord's will, you brothers and you few sincere sisters was edified through the Spirit as
Right.
we were. And we just want to say, call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Kakwadash. We'd also like to give double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone that do group well. And we'd like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, the hopeful elect and the 1/3. With that
Right.
being said, Shalom.